Hello everyone, I am Dr. Jyoti Kumari from GOMS Biology. Today I am going to discuss one basic topic from biology, that is cell. Now, cell, as we all know, is the smallest unit of living organism which is responsible for all structural, biochemical and physiological functions of the organism. Now we can say that cells altogether collectively forms a tissue. These tissues altogether forms an organ, and organ forms a organ system, and ultimately this organ system collectively forms a complete organism. So we can say cell is the basic unit of life structurally and functionally. Now if we go into the history, in year 1665 the scientist named Robert Hooke first time seen the hollow cavities which seems to be like a honeycomb-like structure in the thin slices of cork cells under his light microscope and coined the term cell for them. So credit for first time discovery of cell goes to Robert Hooke. Now next important thing is cell theory, which was proposed by the two scientists named Sladen and Schwann in year 1839. Later, another scientist named Virtue, further after 19 years later, expanded this cell theory and added some points according to his study, and then later it is known as modern cell theory. Now we are going to discuss cell theory, which can be summarized by these three observations. The first observation says that all organisms are composed of one or more cells. So it can be said that organism can be a unicellular or multicellular. Second point says that the cell is the basic unit of structure and organization of organism. Cell form the basic structure and organization of organism. And this third point was added by the scientist Virtue, who says all cells come from pre-existing cells, which means that all cells are produced by a already existing cells in the environment. So credit for the cell theory goes to Sladen, Schwann and Virtue. Now next we are going to discuss type of cells. Two types of cells are found in living organisms. First is prokaryotic cell and next is eukaryotic cell. As the name says, from prokaryotic, pro means primitive, karyotic means nucleus. The cells which contain primitive type of nucleus or cells which do not have a prominent well-defined nucleus are known as prokaryotic cells. These type of cells have simple structure and primitive type of structure. Next is eukaryotic cell. As the name says, eu means true, karyotic means nucleus. The cells which contain true type of nucleus or contains a well-defined nucleus is known as eukaryotic cells. These eukaryotic cells have more complex structure as compared to prokaryotic cells. Now if we see in diagram prokaryotes and eukaryotes, the prokaryotes contain a nucleoid. Now if we define nucleoid, what is nucleoid? Nucleoid is a structure which do not contain a well-defined nuclear membrane and nucleolus. The DNA or the DNA material, genetic material is present in a naked form without a well-defined membrane. Now next thing is it contains a circular DNA which lacks the histone protein attached to them, which do not contain histone proteins. Next other thing, in eukaryotes, nucleus is present, well-defined nucleus with presence of nuclear membrane and nucleolus. Other cell organelles are also found in these eukaryotic cells. These cell organelles may be a mitochondria, Golgi bodies, chloroplast, ribosomes, etc. The eukaryotes contain a linear DNA which contain histone proteins attached to them. Now, if we see these eukaryotic cell and prokaryotic cell on the basis of their structure, we can distinguish them. For prokaryotic cell, we can take example of a bacterial cell, and for eukaryotic cell, we can take example of a plant cell. In prokaryotic cell, we can see the flagellum is present for a moment. The outermost covering is of cell wall, and inside cell wall present is a cell membrane. Cell membrane contain a cytoplasm which contain naked genetic material in the form of nucleoid. Some ribosomes can also be seen in this cytoplasm. Now for eukaryotic cell, we can see the well-defined structure which contain outer cell wall, inner cell membrane, and then the cytoplasm contain a well-defined nucleus which contain nuclear membrane as well as nucleolus. The cytoplasm contain a various type of organelles which are membrane bound. For example, mitochondria, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, etc. Now, next important thing is plant cell structure. If we see under the microscope, plant cell structure seems to be like compartments which contain cytoplasm and nucleus. If we draw a diagram, we can see the outer wall is of cell wall. Inside to this is present a cytoplasm which contain a enlarged nucleus with nuclear membrane and nucleolus. Some organelles, cell organelles are also found. For example, chloroplast, mitochondria, Golgi bodies. One vacuole is also present. If we deeply elaborate this structure, we can see the outermost wall of the plant cell is a cell wall. This cell wall is specifically found in plant cells only. Animal cells do not contain this cell wall. Inside to cell wall is present a cell membrane. Cell membrane contain a cytoplasm which contain various type of organelles. For example, ribosome, Golgi vesicles, endoplasmic reticulum, smooth and rough, both type of endoplasmic reticulum, large central vacuole, amyloplast starch grains, one large central nucleus which contain nucleolus and nuclear membrane, mitochondria, vacuole membrane, Golgi apparatus, etc. Now, one specific structure which is only found in the plant cells is cell wall. Cell wall is the basic structure which is only found in plant cell and which is absent in animal cell. This cell wall forms the outermost layer of the plant cell which covers inner cytoplasm and cell membrane and other cell organelles. If we see its orientation, the cell wall forms the outermost layer. Inside the cell wall is present a plasma membrane, and plasma membrane bound the inner cytoplasm which contain other nucleus and organelles. Now next compare here is the composition of outer layer of plant cell. The outer layer of plant cells is composed of three layers. First is primary cell wall, second is secondary cell wall, and third is middle lamina. The primary cell wall is rich in cellulose, hemicellulose, and pectin. After the deposition over this primary cell wall forms the secondary cell wall, which is just like a primary cell wall, but it have a deposition of lignin or other material over it. So secondary cell wall is formed by deposition over a primary cell wall. Now next is middle lamina, which is rich in pectin and enzymes. Now if we see structure of a cell wall, the innermost cells which contain cytoplasm, nucleus, vacuole is bound by a innermost layer which is a plasma membrane layer. If we see in the cell, if we consider it a cell 1 and the other side cell as a cell 2, C2, we can see this innermost layer is of plasma membrane. The outer layer is of primary cell wall. The primary cell wall have deposition over it of secondary cell wall. We can see this is plasma membrane. The primary cell wall is over the plasma membrane, but this dark deposition is over the primary cell wall, which is secondary cell wall. And the two cells, these layers of cell 1 and this is cell 2, the two layers of cell 1 and cell 2 is distinguished or is divided by a middle lamina in between these two cell walls. So middle lamina is present between the cell walls of two cells. Now the function of cell walls, first function is prevent the over expansion of cell by water. If water enters into the cell wall protects the further rupture of cell by preventing the over expansion of cells. Next, the cell wall are seen in plants, bacteria and fungi, and cell wall is absent in animal cells. Third point says that the substance in the cell wall, the composition of cell wall is differ from one species to another species. Its composition is changed in different species. Next, they provide the rigidity and strength. They provide the rigidity and strength to a cell. They prevent the toxic substances to enter in. They protect the cell by preventing the entry of toxic substances. And another point says the structure protects and support the cell. It protects outside from outside the inner material of cells and support the cell, and it also provides a shape to the cell. It gives a prominent shape to a cell. Now next is the composition of cell wall. Cell wall is basically composed of these four essential material. First is hemicellulose, next is cellulose, pectin and lignin. If we see the cell structure, the cell middle lamina is present between the two cells, middle lamina. Inside middle lamina is primary cell wall. If there is a deposition of secondary cell wall, can also form deposition of lignin or suberin, which provide mechanical support to the cell wall. If there is a deposition, the secondary cell wall is come between the primary cell wall and plasma membrane. So these primary cell wall have a cellulose microfibrils, and pectin, which are interlinked cross-linkage with the glycans. Now, if we see structure, the microfibrils are basic elements which are intertwined with together to form a cellulose fibril. These cellulose fibril collectively forms a cell wall with their formation of a plant cell. So plant cell wall is consist of a cellulose fibril which is made up of a microfibrils which are intertwined with each other. So thank you everyone. Now please everyone like, subscribe and share my video.